Hi, this is Mark Moneypenny. This is my AEP 858 Project 2 presentation. Uh, Ken Robinson said, all children start their school careers with sparkling imaginations, fertile minds, and a willingness to take risks with what they think. The USC 475 mission statement is to prepare today's students for tomorrow's world. Where we are now, on USC 475, we serve 4 communities: Junction City, Milford, Grandview Plaza, and Fort Riley. We have 13 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, and 1 high school. As you can see, the enrollment of the schools ranges all the way from 90 students all the way to 1,400 students at the high school. Our district has 7,279 students. We have 2 middle schools, 13 elementary schools. So we are relatively one of the bigger school districts. And school is a building which has 4 walls with tomorrow inside. I just love that quote because it just kind of just goes with what our school district's philosophy is. The demographics of our school district is we are about 46% white, and there's around 20% of all the other ethnicities all throughout the district. In USC 475, Junction City Middle School, we have a extremely high economically disadvantaged students. We're at 61.5% at Junction City Middle School. And Junction City Middle School is a Title I school, and we have one of the highest disadvantaged student rates in the district. The attendance rate is actually really high. It's 95.4% last year, and we're basically right on keeping track with the district. Our ELL population is actually on the decline. Last year we were sitting at 3.67%, and this year we're just about right on that same percentage. Our students with disabilities, this actually stays pretty consistent. And from year to year, we're basically at 17.19%. Excuse me. Then we have our chronic absenteeism, which actually is declining. We were at 2018 at about 15%, and we're declined about 2% to 2019. The attendance rates is actually really high. We're at 95% last year, just basically on with the state and the district. The graduation and dropout rate, our graduation rate as of 2015-17 was 83%. Last year it was around 84%. The dropout rates is really surprisingly low. What people think for our district, it's 1.28%. And I would say it's probably about the same going into this year. What our current numbers reflect on is some of our current numbers reflect on as of 2019 of April last year. We have a new superintendent start. Our enrollment is actually inconsistent for a number of years due to the large number of deployments, and with the state of our nation's security, we are looking for a lot more. We're not looking for the deployments to slow down. And over the past 5 years, we've actually had 2 elementaries close, which is actually not a bad thing. The schools are in really bad shape. And over the years, we've had 2 brand new elementary schools built, a new middle school built. We're having a brand new high school going to start up in the fall of 2021. And one of the greatest quotes we have is anonymous. It's "Don't stress, do your best, and forget the rest." And how do we do our business? Well, at our school, we give surveys to parents, students, and staff members to see what the current climate of the school and the districts are. We have staff members who are very aware of the students' needs and making necessary accommodations to make sure we're providing every student a safe learning environment. And any visitor that comes into the building, they have to go through, their only access through is one location, which funnels them right into the office. And even if anyone's going to be checking a student out, you must have the proper identification. And if a student has not showed up to the school and there's been no call, daily calls go out by 9 a.m. And Art Williams says, "I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. I'm telling you it's going to be worth it." And that's one of the things that are a lot of the people who make some of those calls every single day. It's worth it to make sure the child's safe. And how are our students doing? Well, if you kind of look at it as our 6th graders, they kind of get off to a rough start. the level one referrals, we had 83 students with a level one with 200 with a total of 221. And you kind of look at the seventh grade, it's kind of an up and down year. As of November, there was 133 students, with almost 400 level ones. And by the time they get to the eighth grade, they're kind of cruising. We had 131 level ones with only 62 students. So it looks like a lot, but actually the numbers are getting better. And how are we going to how are our students doing? Students in Junction City Middle School are not showing adequate growth in the areas of math and reading. State test scores have not been increasing over the years. The MTSS program we have is continuing to be a challenge. Administration, we're trying to find a good way to set a pretty good, a workable schedule. And leadership has been a challenge this year, especially we've had we have some administrators that have been out on long-term leave. So we've had one or two administrators trying to go with a school for about 900 students, and that is a challenge for anyone. And Beverly Curley has said, children should learn that reading is a pleasure, not just something teachers make you do in school. We always want to get our students to make sure we're learning in and out of school. Where we want to be is with our new superintendent, we are moving in a positive direction, having monthly listening sessions where he's listening with only teachers in the room about their concerns and what changes we'd like to make. And having students have a graduation rate above 90% is a goal for the district, and decreasing the chronic absenteeism rate is a priority, and seeking to find new ways to engage students in a positive manner. How are we going to get there where we want to be? It is going to be take a commitment and a consistency from administration staff to make a change. Next year at the middle schools, we're extending the day by 10 minutes. 10 minutes doesn't seem like a lot, but we're increasing the student time in math and ELA to actually get those scores up. And the schedule change next year is going to help benefit students learning. MTS is going to get better. Every possible way is going to get better. Kids are going to have more options. And Chuck Grassley said, what makes a child gifted and talented may not always be good in grades in school, but the difference is looking at the world and learning. And what we're going to do, are we making a difference? The changes that we're making are slowly making a difference. Administration is listening to teachers and teachers' needs, and we're making the appropriate accommodations. The superintendent is making a good impact with his new tactics to try to get the trust and the support of the teachers. And the students are responding in a positive way in and out of the classroom. And our Herbley said, nothing is impossible without the word itself, I'm possible. And the last quote I'm going to leave you with is John Wooden, success is never final, failure is never fatal, it's courage that counts. Thank you very much.